Hey there, everyone. Welcome to this week's edition of The Night Sky This Week. This is September 18th, 2023. Hope you had a great weekend. Did some stargazing, perhaps? Love to hear what your experience is. Share where you're watching from and what you've been up to in the comments below. Love to hear it. Wherever you're watching from around the world, we talk about night sky, stargazing, sky watching, things to see like planets, stars, constellations, conjunctions, deep sky objects, the whole gamut of sky watching, whatever is popping up on the calendar, we talk about those things. First off, if you find value in this video, please do consider subscribing or following me on my channel, whether you're watching on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch. Love to see you come on board and join our global stargazing community. It's great to have you along for the ride. So please do that. And of course, make sure you hit that notification as well, because you don't want to miss out on any of my sky watching posts that I do share with all of you throughout the week. There's always something popping up, and I create some customized sky charts that help you track down the things that we talk about today in this show and new things that pop up on my calendar. First off, we've got to talk about auroras, northern lights. Those of you who are interested in that and perhaps are in higher latitudes, this is very interesting. The sun there is a CME impact. Let me just share you with my friends at spaceweather.com. Great website, highly recommended. They're talking about a CME that hit Earth's magnetic field. So a coronal mass ejection is this giant cloud of charged particles. Here you can see this one left over the weekend a couple of days ago. Right there, look at that. You see that blast coming off of the sun? This is taken from the SOHO satellite, solar satellite. It's a satellite dedicated to watching the sun. The sun is covered by a metallic disc, you can see, because it would just overwhelm the sensors of the CCD imager. And so here you're actually being able to see, with the sun covered, that huge cloud of charged particles just going out into the solar system. That's what you're seeing. You see those little dots around here? Those are stars in the background there. So that's what happened on the 16th of September. And it hit us today, September 18th at 1350 Universal Time. So this was just, a few hours ago. The impact was sharp, abruptly raising the solar wind velocity around our planet. So that means that there is a possibility of auroras. So far, the CME's arrival has not caused a geomagnetic storm, but this could change as the planet moves deeper in the CME's magnetic field. So all in all, what this is saying is that be on the lookout. There's a possibility for auroras. We can see, if I show you the map of where there is potential auroral activity, you can see the redder it is, the darker the red, the more activity there is. And right now, this is here Northern Europe, Scandinavia. This is Northern North America down here currently, and this is a snapshot taken today, just about, I would say, a couple of hours ago or an hour ago. And so there is activity in Scandinavian countries. Right there you can see, in the Arctic region, there is activity because of that, hit from that charged magnetic cloud. So it's really, really interesting to see that happen. This may bode well for those of us in North America, but of course we have to wait until darkness falls. So if you're watching this live, that's something that you guys should take into account. Now, what else is there happening? Well, you can see here right away, actually, my friend Peter Horolek in Europe in Slovakia, has been keeping an eye on this comet, and he actually submitted a great photograph to the spaceweather.com community, and it shows you Comet Nishimura, right? We've been talking a lot about Comet Nishimura rounding the sun. Well, it looks like it's actually survived its trip around the sun, swinging around it. there was talk about it perhaps disintegrating, but here is a visual confirmation, probably the first one that I've seen, that it's actually made it around the sun. It's still intact. There you can see a close-up. It's hidden in the glow right here. This is where the picture is, right there. If I just maybe click on it, we get a bigger version of it right there. Right there is where this comet appears. And I can tell you it's not an easy find. Right there is where it is. If I zoom in, let's see here, you can see, oh my gosh, right, that is even hard for me to see where that comet is, but it's in the glow of the sunset. That's where it is. And it's basically, you can't see it with the naked eye. It's impossible. So don't bother going out. This is really a very, very tricky comet. But what's neat is that Peter is actually saying that he's basing the from his observations that it is magnitude 2 to 2.5. Right there is what he's being quoted here as 2.5. This could be very good for us because that is well within visual naked eye limits, well within that. But because it's embedded in the glow of the sunset, it's gone. It's washed out, even though it's inherently bright. Now, the big question is, as it's moving away from the sun now on its journey back to the outer solar system, will it be bright enough, stay bright, so that we can see it with the naked eye? That is the big question, and we will only know, time will tell if that's possible. So if we head over to the planetarium software, I've got it set up here for the evening sky. This is Monday evening. There's our friend, the moon. Beautiful. It's a waxing crescent moon. Just gorgeous. Look at that, what it looks like in the southwest after sunset. You've got also the star Spica and little old Mars in the way embedded in that glow of the sunset. Really hard to see. I wouldn't bother with it, but definitely the crescent moon is quite a sight. Do check that out. This is again from Monday the 18th where the moon is. However, if we want to talk about the comet, let me just get I'm using Sky Safari Pro. Love using this software because it just shows you where everything is. There is the comet in the sky currently. Okay, so it's in the evening. Remember, we were in the early morning to look at it. That was really the best time to see it, in the early morning, just before dawn. Now that it's surrounded the sun, it's become an evening object. Now, if I move this as the days go on. So this is Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Do you see what I'm talking about? It's close to the sunset. So it's not an easy object, but could it stay bright? We don't know. That's where you're going to have to try to look. It's going to be a big challenge, but we'll see what happens. It'll be interesting to see. There's no doubt about it. And if you want to see where it is in terms of the big picture of the solar system, we can do an orbital view of the comet. And there it is. And we can see if we magically kind of look and look at the path. Let me show selected objects orbit. There we go. Then you can see this line here. You see that line? That is the path that the comet is taking, its orbital path in the solar system. These lines that are moving from left to right, these are the paths of the different planets. So if I just kind of zoom out, see the big picture, there's the sun, there's the planet, there's Earth. We're going above the plane of the solar system. There are the tracks of the planets. There's Venus's track, there's Earth. This is exactly where the planets are right now, next few days. And you can see where the comet is. Look where the comet is, rounded the sun. See how squashed the orbital view of the actual orbit of the comet is? It's really squashed, and you can see it's very close to the sun. It's within the orbit of little Mercury. There's the orbit of Mercury, and see the comet is within the orbit. So just to give you an idea of when we're talking about this comet, where it is, you can see that's where it's traveling. And as the days progress, it is going to be moving, like by next week, you can see it'll be farther out from the planets, even the plane of the solar system. Below, south of the plane of the solar system is where this comet will be. But right now, if we just headed back to where we are, the 18th, this is where the comet is, rounding very close to the sun within the orbit of Mercury. That's why it's so difficult to see. Now you get, I hope you get a clearer view, a picture in your mind of why it's so close, appears in the sky so close to the sunset, or it was last week to the sunrise. That's because here you can see that the comet is lingering very close to the sun itself. So from our vantage point right here, we're on Earth, right? Down here, imagine what it looks like from our vantage point. There's the comet, there's the sun. Bingo. It's very close to it. There's Mars in the background too. Mars is really far from Earth right now. It's over 300 million kilometers away from us. It's probably one of the farthest points almost that it can be from our planet. Our two planets are separated. And it takes light from Mars about 15 minutes to reach us from that distance. So it's really interesting to put all of this to perspective. Now, if I magically go back, there you go. Let me see if I can do this. There you go. You can see where the comet is right there. That is where the comet, and now you understand, I hope, why it appears like this in the sky. It's literally much closer to the sun than from our vantage point, so that it's hidden in the in that glare. So there you go. That's the comet. Interesting, the moon, of course. Watch the moon over the next few days. This is another, just a gorgeous thing to see. I'm going to put it a little bit later in the night. So this is around just after sunset, but let's go like an hour after sunset. And we're going to change this to Tuesday and watch where the moon is. Let me just go a little bit before so that you can see it's low to the ground. But there we go. About a half hour, let's say, after sunset. There in the southwest, low in the southwest will be the moon. But look, it's heading towards one of my favorite constellations, Scorpius. So if we, again, go on to Wednesday, do you see that? The crescent moon is thicker, obviously. This is something you can see with the naked eye. You could see this within city limits. Don't worry about light pollution. This is something you can see. As long as you've got a clear view towards the western, southwestern skies, this is something that you can see. Love seeing people chime in, asking about what software I'm using. It's Sky Safari Pro by Simulation Curriculum. It's one of my favorite softwares that I love using. And it's really neat. Jack's watching from Santa Monica, California. We've got viewers from Greece. Welcome. So nice to see you guys. Hello from North Carolina Mountains. That's Whittle. Very nice. Excuse my pronunciation. Linda from London, England is here as well. Catherine from Germany is here. Love seeing everyone just chiming in. It's so nice to see all my friends from around the world. But this is, again, getting back to what we're talking about, the 20th of September, Wednesday, this Wednesday, the moon is going to be near Antares. Right there, there's Antares, the brightest star in the constellation Scorpius, the zodiacal constellation. So this is quite a beautiful sight, seeing this pair together. And if we go to Thursday, the 21st, the moon will jump to the other side of Antares. Do you see that? So that's Thursday on one side and Wednesday on the other side. Actually, I would think probably Wednesday night is going to be a little bit closer. And over the course of the night, you might see them get even closer. So this is a really nice view. It's like literally in the claw of the scorpion. The right hand claw of the scorpion is where the moon appears embedded. So just a gorgeous sight, and just a huge contrast in the type of object, right? The moon is our closest celestial neighbor at about 400,000 kilometers away. It takes 1 second for light to travel between the moon and the Earth. It's really cut, like just 1 second, like that. But from Antares, it takes over 550 years for the light from Antares to reach your eye. It's really incredible. 550 years for the travel time. That's how far away this giant star is. It's actually a dying red giant star. It's a sneak peek, kind of, I guess, into what the future of our own sun will be in about 4 to 5 billion years from now when it's dying. So this star is already in that end phase of its life, the end of its life cycle. And so we get to see it's kind of ballooned into this large gargantuan version of itself the star has become. So and if we would replace our sun with Antares inside of our solar system, it would swallow up Mercury, Venus, maybe even the Earth would be inside the belly of this gigantic star. That's how big it is, this red giant. And it's just neat. The moon is going to be next to it. Wednesday night, this is the view. Thursday, the 21st, this is the view on the 21st. There's the moon on the other side. So if we kind of zoom out, we can continue following the moon. One of the interesting spots, again, let me just show you, is the Milky Way. The intensity, let me see if I can get the intensity better so you can see it more clearly. There we go. That, you can see this hue, this kind of fuzziness that you see, this gray fuzziness on the side, that is the Milky Way band. And if I go a little bit later at night, let me just go, say, an hour later, there you can see it very, very clearly. So this is when it gets truly dark. The moon is going to be right there on one side of the Milky Way, and on the other side, if you're very good at you got clear enough skies, maybe dark enough skies, kind of on the edge of a city, outside of the suburbs, maybe a drive 20 minutes beyond the suburbs, and you'll see this really nice teapot configuration of stars. And this represents the head and chest of this really very, very cool constellation. It's called Sagittarius. It's like a mythological centaur, half human, half horse. And it's just a beautiful constellation that's marked by this gigantic teapot collection of stars that's tipped over on its side like this, right? It's tipped like this. And you can imagine from the spout of this teapot right here, you have the steam coming up, the celestial steam. I just love that. I find that such a nice romantic way of thinking about it, is that steam is coming out of the teapot, rising up into the air. And what is that celestial steam? It's our home galaxy, the Milky Way. That's the glow that you're seeing, that steam from the teapot. And the teapot configuration, you have the handle of the teapot over here, the lid of the teapot up here, and then you have the spout over here and the body of the teapot in the middle there. And this is really something evident. I'm going to put a sky chart for this that'll make it a little bit easier to see for you guys. If I just maybe put down the intensity of the Milky Way, because I think it's like overdone there. Look at that. You'll see the teapot, I hope, a little bit more easily. Can you guys see that? The teapot, there's the handle, the lid, and the spout. And this is still a great time to see this in the northern hemisphere. This time, late summer, we're heading into fall. And by the way, fall, autumn in the northern hemisphere, and springtime for those of you in the southern hemisphere starts on September 23rd, this Saturday. I think it happens sometime like 2 a.m. or something like that. I'll have to see exactly when. Let me see. When is it exactly? I think it's in the early in the morning. And it is the 23rd, which is Saturday. I know that for sure. Let me see. Bear with me. It's at 2:50 a.m. Eastern Time. 2:50 Eastern Time, North American Time, is the official time where we switch into autumn in the Northern Hemisphere and springtime for those of you in the Southern Hemisphere. So it's an equinox, right? It's called the September equinox, meaning equal day, equal night. It's the position of the Earth in its orbit around the sun, where it allows the equal amount of daylight and nighttime almost exactly equal around that time. So I'll put a post on that putting an explainer of that you'll find on my timeline. So do keep an eye out for that. So that's it for this week. I think it's really, I really want you guys to try to see the Milky Way earlier on this week, like Monday, Tuesday is great. The moon is out of the sky still, so it's a great time. Try to find this Teapot. It's really, really cool to see. It's low toward the horizon for those of you like in Canada, for instance, or Northern Europe, but it's something still visible, and it's visible towards the southern part of the sky. Remember to look at the moon and Antares middle of the week. Also, I'll put sky charts for that. A lot of fun things happening in the sky every week. I think it's fantastic. And if you're interested in learning more, I invite you to check out my book, Backyard Guide to the Night Sky. It's available at all fine bookstores, including Amazon. It's considered one of the best-selling stargazer handbooks. It's small. It fits into a backpack. It's easy to take it wherever you go. And I'm also selling signed, dedicated copies, international sales on my website, thenightskyguide.com. Makes a great gift. Also, my atlas, which I am a co-author in. I've actually authored all the stargazing tips and tricks, every single 88 constellations, mythology, and sky tours are all in here, including astrotourism, astroarchaeology, all kinds of connections of the night sky to humanity in the 6.5-pound coffee table book. I'm also selling this signed, dedicated copies on my website, thenightskyguide.com. Watch for a link in the comments for that. Oh, lots of stuff, guys. Thanks so much for joining me. As always, if you find value in this video, do me a favor and hit that subscribe button or follow button. Whether you're watching on Facebook or YouTube, it means a lot. It allows me to bring these videos straight to you every week for free. And I love sharing my passion for the night sky. I love hearing from you guys, all kinds of neat things that you share, your stories, your pictures. Keep sending your photos with your smartphones, with your DSLRs. I love it. We're a growing global community, and you guys are all my stargazing friends. Thank you for joining me. I'm looking through the comments. I will be after the show. Well, stay safe and healthy, guys. And until next time, the next video, I wish all of you clear skies. Bye-bye.